It is Jova. Alright, that should have fixed it. I'm sorry, I had feedback coming through the my phone. I'll give the other one a second. Hey now, can you hear me? Alright, let's delete this old one. Oh god, that's so silly. How did I even manage to do that? The feedback from the phone, it was coming through. What is it with this day and age and technology? Great, I don't even think anyone knows I'm doing this now. It was all going so well. This is what happens when things go well for me. Alright. Well, welcome back everybody. Sorry for being a horrible excuse for a YouTuber right now. My goodness, do I even know how to use this thing? Alright, I got my live feed. Ay caramba. Ay caramba. It's so Jova. It's so fucking Jova. Damn it, everyone was there. It was a sweet feed. It was a really nice feed. Everyone was saying such nice things about me in the chat. Hi Adam. Sorry. I had feedback coming through my phone. I don't know if you could hear it. And I was like, oh god, that sounds terrible. I'm gonna have to stop and restart. And it started off so well. Everyone was being so nice to me in the chat. It's very Jova Oz Chris, I'm sorry. Fuck's sake. Not only was I late, I feel like I felt like so ready to go and I felt amped up, and then now this happens. Goodness me. Well, I hope you've all been alright. I hope you're all having a better evening than I am. I was feeling good until that. Fuck's sake. I've never done a 1 minute live stream before and then completely just ditched it. It's technology for you. Alright, let me delete Star Beast Parallels. Yeah. I know, I'm sorry everyone, I was gonna read all your if you wanna put back in the chat your 60th reviews. That'd be grateful. Alright, I'm deleting forever the old live stream. It is tossed. Because I don't want anyone going on that thinking it's this one. Alright. We're good. We're good. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Isn't this the beauty of live streams? And by the way, 3 Wednesdays in a row. In a row. Who thought I could do it, baby? Here I am. Last week, sweating. This week, wearing a jumper. It's global warming, baby. And it's here to stay. Global warming is here to stay. Oh boy. Alright, let's start with our updates like we normally do. Okay? So you probably all saw the Josh Snares came to Perth, and I went out with them on Friday night, quite late on Friday night, and we all went out. That was just me. Aiden wasn't there on the Friday, and then on the Sunday, Josh came to the studio. We filmed an episode which won't be out for a couple of weeks, just because Aiden's got his sister's wedding coming up, and we need an episode banked, so we're gonna bank that one. So it'll be out in a couple of weeks. But it was really good. And then we went out to the city again, and I woke up on Monday morning with a very, very horrendous hangover, but it was a really good time. So yeah, great. It was great to see him again. It had been like over a year. Last time I saw Josh was in January. So yeah, it's been over a year. It's really nice. It sucks. I have all these like Doctor Who friends, but they're all in different countries. And if they live in Australia, they're not in Perth. The only person I know who's a creator who lives in Perth who likes Doctor Who is Scott. So it's like I wish you all lived here. That'd be better. Is it something First Doctor related? No. It's a who to be buried with. I won't be all secretive about it because I feel like I was secretive about Josh coming over, but They just wanted to keep it on under the wraps, so I complied. But there are some other good secrets going on in the background, stuff that I wouldn't mind saying, but I feel like there's a curse with this channel where if I say something is going to happen, either the creators get cancelled or it doesn't happen, because we did this with the Who Addicts. They were going to come on, and then we said we recorded the podcast on Thursday. We were going to be recording the episode on Monday, and during that space, they got cancelled. So, actually, I still think they upload content. But regardless, though, I feel like I think there's some cool stuff cooking. You know, Aiden said to me the other day, he was like, do you message people and like you're down the pub and got a little bit of liquid courage? I'm like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, hey, you want to come on the pod? We're big fans. And I guess I'm a bit of a salesman. I don't do everything when I'm at the pub, but God, we got this really good one that I might say. Should I say it? I feel like I need to give away something on these streams, otherwise people are gonna get fucking bored of me. You mentioned about Who Addicts. You say why were they cancelled? Just transphobic comments. I can't remember who said it, but yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, we got a good guest coming up, and I think we're gonna be filming it in like April. Depends. Here's a hint. They're currently directing a short film. And I mean it with peace and love. Not maybe a little bit higher budget than what Aiden does. That's all I say. They've been in Doctor Who. No, they haven't been in Doctor Who. They've been in something else. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I feel like I'm saying too much. They haven't been in Doctor Who, but they may have been in one of the spin-offs. Which one? You'll have to figure that out by themselves. And that was just me being like, fuck it, I'm just gonna shoot my shot on DM, and it actually worked. That's a sneak peek for the hardcore fans. I like to get their direction of feature film. Is it a feature? I thought it was a short, Aiden. It's gonna be good though. I'm really keen for it. I was yeah. Anyway, we all went out. It was really fun. I got a bit groggy. I woke up really hungover. We were doing a thing called hello there, I'm finally awake during a stream, live from Texas. Oh, what's up, Jeremy? How you doing? Texas? Yeehaw, my God. What do you mean? I'm not currently directing a feature film. I have been in Doctor Who spin-off. Haha. Oz Chris, listen. You can come back on the pod whenever you want, my boy. Just don't bring that Jimmy with you, okay? Do you know what's so funny? Jimmy, ex-Mad Men with a box, he is into like comedy now, and he opened for Brendan Schnobb, who notoriously has like a comedy special like 1.1 stars on IMDb, and he's like kind of mates with Brendan Schnobb. It's just so funny to me. I always make fun of him for it. But hey, good on you, Jimmy. We love you. Yeah, on Sunday we would do mystery drinks, which is what Aiden, a conundrum that Aiden came up with, where basically you can do it in rounds, and whenever it's your round, you go up and you had to bring back something different from the last time, and it can be anything. And Josh's friend Sam kept bringing back like red wine, and ugh. But we were drinking everything, like ciders, Guinness, red wine, cocktails. And I think it was just a mix of the drinks. Like, just, I woke up the next day just feeling like absolute ass. But it was super fun. On Friday, like, because Josh's plane kept getting delayed, I literally didn't meet up with Josh till, I think, like 11:15 or like 11 p.m. And then we went clubbing, and then the club closed at like 2, and then that was it. It was like, but hey, it was all worth it in the end. But it was like, yeah, it was a lot of traveling for like a little bit of time. But yeah, anyway, we got the episode filmed. Second in-person episode. First one was Trial of the Time Lord. And yeah, it's cool. Mad scenes going on. Aiden says Google it yesterday. First feature, I think. So that's for our guest. Our special guest, who I think we're going to try and tee up a film in time for April. So that's cool. And a few other YouTubers here and there. If there's anyone that you want us to try and get on, let us know. And we'll try and do that. I also got bitten by a dog. I thought that'd be funny to say. On the way to the city on Friday, I went to hop in my Uber and got bitten by a dog. I don't think I can get my. Hold on, let me try. Mr. TARDIS, yeah, we'll try and get Mr. TARDIS on. All right, so that's teeth marks from a dog. So, leaving the house, top of my Uber to head to the city to go see Joshi. Yeah, a dog outside my house jumped up and bit me, but it didn't go through my shirt, so I didn't have to go to the hospital. I think that's fine because I didn't get it didn't go into my bloodstream like the teeth, so I think I'm fine. But at first I thought the dog jumped up and smacked me with its paw. But when I looked at my shirt, because I had to go back inside, because I was like, oh, that really hurt. Because I thought like its paw hit me and it dug into my arm. I was like, fuck's sake. I was more concerned about my shirt because it's my Coldplay shirt, and I was like, oh, I really hope he hasn't ripped it. But surprisingly, nothing went through, and I was like, why is there slobber all over it? I'm like, holy shit, like it's teeth marks. Somehow its teeth didn't pierce through my shirt. Like, luckily enough, but it was just some dog on like a leash getting walked down the street. And I was like, my God, like what a crazy thing to say has happened to you. And I'm such an awkward person that like when the dog bit me, I just kind of like ran off and went, oh, it's all good. And she kind of just like hustled away. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like the weekend it definitely had its moments of craziness, I'll say that. And it ain't ending anytime soon. Yeah, that's all the updates, I think. I mean, does it get more entertaining than getting bitten by a dog? I don't think so. I certainly don't think so. And yeah, the stream might be a little bit short today just because I started a bit late and we had all the technical issues. But I guess we'll get into like the main topic of today. I've been having fun coming up with these topics. I even messaged Aiden and said, because I know we do like the main rankings for the main show, but I was like, look, I think it'd be cool to like go through all of them. I've been meaning to do it. I think I wanted to do it maybe a little bit earlier than this, like probably first couple of weeks of January, talking about all 4 of the 60th specials. Yes, I'm counting Church on Ruby Road because fuck it, why not? I know people count that as like the 4th special of the 60th. And I say, sure, why not? I mean, it was in the year that it came out. It was in the year of the 60th, rather. So I thought I'd rank them. And then eventually when we get to it, when we do it for like the main show, we can try and see if my opinion's changed. Because I felt like when the 60th first aired, my opinions were very like up and down. I remember like my opinion on the Star Beast particularly was just so loosey-goosey. Now I feel like I've got a bit more of an opinion, and I think I've got a solid opinion. I don't think they're going to be changing anytime soon. So I'm gonna go from. We'll start negative. We'll start with number 4, and then we'll go to number 1. And please, in the chat, if you want to put your 60th ratings, try to include Church on Ruby Road from worst to best. I will read them out, and I will read your thoughts as we go along. But at number 4, the lowest for me, I think you all know I'm going to say this. I think even Jeremy made a joke before. It's like the funniest of the 60th reviews for the podcast was Star Beast. And yeah, number 4 definitely goes for the Star Beast, which I feel like for the first episode of Russell's new era and being back shouldn't have had the problems that it has. And I feel like the problems are almost a little bit too fun to talk about because I can't help but always discuss the Star Beast with people, particularly people who really enjoy it, which is great. I'm very happy people really enjoyed that episode, but I do have to kind of question a little bit and be like, so what exactly about it did you really like? Because that pacing is just, ew. Like it always gets me, the pacing. Like I can't understand how bad it is. And I just think there'll never be like that moment again when I wake up at like what 2:30 3 a.m. and chuck on the Starbase, and just like, I think I mentioned it like a couple of weeks ago on one of these streams, but just seeing David Tennant standing from that green screen, just, I think I knew from then that something's going to be a little bit off with Doctor Who in 2023. And I think I was kind of right. And then not only that, we're straight into that awfully edited scene, which we've, even the fact that even fans who aren't really into like maybe film knowledge or like editing and stuff knew that the there probably is like a deleted scene in that first meeting of Donna and the Doctor. The fact that people are like, I don't know, something feels a bit weird here. Maybe there's like a couple of scenes missing. People who don't even know about like editing and deleted scenes and stuff. The fact people picked up on it is a bit of a scary thing. And literally, we saw it got released. It's the same. It was originally like showing off the new Sonic, and it was just deleted. And it's like, I'm sure there's other stuff. It just, there's a box that like magically appears back on like Donna's pile of her boxes. It's just like continuity and stuff. It's just like, it's just really bad. And this is the first like 5 minutes, and it's the first 5 minutes of this triumphant return, and it has me really disappointed and scratching my head. Doug says, I agree with you now. I feel like I got caught in the hype. Yeah, it sucks that we kind of did. But I feel like with the 50th, I got caught on the hype too. But it only took a rewatch for me to just love the 50th. First time I watched it, I didn't, because I think just the hype. But then like I ended up loving it. So, you know, Jeremy says, in terms of Doctor Who episodes, Starbase is dead last. In terms of 50% episodes, the Starbase is okay. Look, the Starbase review for 50%, I guess. I think you can really see just like how like upset we were just watching it and then going to do the review. It kind of broke us a little bit, which is like, it's sad to say it, but it's like that pure like heartbreak of just like watching the Starbase and then going to do the review. It's just like, oh my god, it really it really kind of broke us. But hey, I'm glad that people enjoyed the review, and I felt really harsh doing it, but you know, I'm glad people like it. Also, Chris says the intro, the pacing, and how the Doctor Donna returns and resolution are its main detriments. Totally, something went wrong. I don't know what, but even like having Rachel back, it didn't feel like necessarily like a Rachel episode. I mean the scene in the Noble household with the Ralph Roys attacking, yeah, that shit's amazing. But like, you know, it's like nothing really else really stands out to me that great. The Toymaker in the first 40 minutes is some of my favorite Who in years. Yes, we'll definitely get to the giggle. The Doctor is in a weird void and Donna is on a laptop. Yeah. Emperor Holocron. You put Harbo. That's that. Oh, is that who you're saying we should try and get on? Yeah. Yeah, Harbo's cool. You know who I did try to reach out to, but they don't really use social media, is Harry's Moving Media. I really like him, and he does videos with Harbo. But I reached out to Harry on Instagram, but they don't use it. So I've been trying to get in contact with him. He did the 60th reviews. He did Church and Ruby Road. I mean, like, Harry's harsh, but I like him. I don't think he's like, you know, a little nitpicky, but you know, ain't we all? I like him. I try to get him on, but I don't really think there's any other way of contacting him because his Twitter DMs are off as well. So I just messaged through Instagram. I know he has a Discord, but I don't know how to use Discord. I'm gonna be completely real with you. Emperor Holocron says it's really hard for me to accept the 14th Doctor as his own independent incarnation because the writing and performances don't do enough to distinguish him as a separate incarnation. It is really odd, and I don't know how, and I feel like a broken record talking about this, and I really hope I'm not boring you all, but I do find myself still kind of being like, why is David Tennant still knocking about in a house, which apparently in the Giggle, the house that he's in, apparently he bought it from the Giggle novelization. It says that he actually bought it because he was getting paid by unit all those years. So that's kind of cool. I feel like they could have maybe said that in the episode, but whatever. Instead we get a cringe line about Wilfred shooting moles and there being a fucking force field stopping it. Stopping the bullets from killing them. It's just odd to me. It's like, why keep him around? I don't know if there's like this great master plan that I'm just not seeing yet, but that's just odd to me. Jeremy says it seems like they had a way out by explaining all the weird plot holes, like the resolution of the meta crisis and the 10th Doctor face return by having it be the Toymaker manipulating everything. So the meta crisis thing, I feel like there was like pretty much next to no way of solving it without pissing people off and doing it in a good way and a satisfying way. And that's fair enough, but it's like, I feel like when fan theories are better than what you did, it's like, and I really don't want to comment on the trans representation because it's not for me to stick my foot in that. But like, you know, I care about that community. I care about how it's represented, and I think it was represented pretty poorly. And Josh, mate, I don't want to use Josh's words, and I don't want to ruin the podcast episode for you, but Josh said the other day on the Who Do We Bury With episode, which will be coming out soon, that it kind of seemed like a way of like preaching parents about maybe parents who have like trans kids and stuff. It's like, okay, Russell, you do your thing, I suppose. Ozchris says the Doctor putting in a Winter Soldier activation code for the Dr. Donna is so questionable and bad. I feel like RTD couldn't write another way for Donna's memories to come back. What's it? Pelican, Mexico. It's like, what the fuck? What kind of world do we live in? It's so bad. Oh god. Adam says the 14th is the 10th again. You can't fool me, RTD. You can't fool me. Yeah. It just, it wasn't, I think, and Aiden said this on the show so much last year, and I didn't want to believe him, and he was so fucking right. It wasn't the 60th specials. It was like the Russell T Davies season 4 DT Catherine Tate specials. Like, the Tales of the TARDIS, Josh said this in their video the other day, the Tales of the TARDIS was so much more of a 60th celebration than the specials, which just blows my mind. You have people like Matt Smith wanting to come back. I'm sure Peter's just putting it on. I mean, I know you say he didn't want to, but I'm sure he would. And it's like, come on, bro. Dan says, love to see you live, Boo. Sorry I didn't come on earlier. Was filming a new vid about Willy. What, Willy Wonka? Willy Wonka? Timothée Chalamet's Willy Wonka? About Willy? Willy Hartnell? Dan, you gotta help me here. Emperor Holocron. I'm just gonna call you Emperor. Is that okay? Your Highness? If 14 was an entirely separate personality, like if David spoke with a Scottish accent, it wasn't the same dashing around action hero archetype 10 was, it would be better, more calculating. I agree. And you know what? I love the idea of the Scottish accent. And I also thought maybe if he had a beard, because, you know, David Tennant's got like an amazing beard. But yeah, it's just like the costume's different and the Sonic's different and the TARDIS is different. Apart from that, it's like, yeah, the Doctor's a bit more, the Doctor says he loves people more. Okay? Yeah, they've changed so much. Jerry put, couldn't have wrote it. Could have wrote it that the Toymaker wanted these two back to play a game because he enjoyed their chemistry in the past episodes. How to be a little bit like a 4-4 break, bring back actors. I love that. Emperor says that way you could have had David's face back for ratings. You can have you can have it be totally consistent. Yeah, I agree. Doug says, when is 11th Doctor coming back? 16. When is 11th Doctor coming back? 16. What, the 16th Doctor? It'd be kind of wild if they kept that trend going, and then it's Peter and then it's Jodie. But it's like, what then? Do you just do David Tennant again and Ncuti? It's like, it's odd. No, the bootleg Willie in Glasgow. I'm gonna be honest, Dan. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. But yeah, I guess that's it for the Star Beast. I don't hate it. I certainly don't love it, and I'm not. It's hard showing people that episode because it really does not feel like a new start. It doesn't feel like the start it should be, and I remember having that pain in my chest of like, you know, saying to my parents like for months, like, "We'll sit down, watch Doctor Who again. It's gonna be great. Trust me, I know it's gonna be great." And then showing them the Star Beast, like, woof, killed me. Is it still an 8 in your opinion? Says Jeremy. I don't think so, and I hate to change the score because I loosey goosey. I feel like when I watch the Star Beast, I really enjoy it and I can kind of get over the faults. But when I finish it, I'm like, I don't know I don't know. That one in particular, I find so hard to rate. If I could give it a rating right now, I'd probably give it something like a 6, which is ridiculous because I gave it an 8 before. It's like in the official like log for the 50% ratings, it's an 8, and it's like, it does not deserve that. I don't know. Does Church and Ruby Road count in this ranking, or just the 3 Davy specials? Yeah, Dan, I'm counting Church and Ruby Road, which, speaking of which, is next. So it's out. So the fourth at the bottom is Star Beast. Number 3 is Church on Ruby Road, which is a pretty standard Christmas episode, which I think the only reason why I will put it on this year at Christmas is because we're getting a new special, and I like continuity. Okay, something about CGI goblins doesn't really sit well with me. I like it. I think it's a fun episode. I've watched all these specials a ridiculous amount of times. I think I've watched Star Beast about 10 times, and I've watched Church and Ruby Road probably like 7 or 8. Sometimes that's just like background viewing, but it still counts. I think all of them are fun to just watch, but when you start to dissect it a little bit. Also, one thing I noticed as well, and I know it's the director of Rosa and Ghost Monument. I ain't trying to be nitpicky here, but there are so many times, like there's a scene where Ruby or Millie is coming off a bus, and the camera goes to like pan in, but it's sort of like, it's like it gets knocked by something, and it does like that, almost like this, like it's like a little knock. It's just odd to me, and I know they've been using drones a lot more, and there's like this drone shot above the TARDIS, and I know it's because I have a drone, like before you move it, you can kind of like nudge it, and it goes like, it does that, it does the same kind of thing again, and it kind of does that before it does like this twisting around the TARDIS shot from like the top up. It's just like, it's like we're on Disney now. Like we're this is supposed to be the first one with a Disney budget, and it's like these kind of mistakes. It just doesn't really. It just seems a bit poor to me. But maybe I'm expecting too much from a stupid fucking sci-fi TV show. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe I'm the idiot here. Who knows? Recent chat. Jeremy says, dude, I watched it with my friend when it came out, who hasn't watched the show since Matt, and I was cringing so hard in some scenes, he wasn't impressed. Yeah, Aiden was watching it with his DP the other day, and they were saying the same thing. I think they finished Matt and Peter's era and only watched Jodie's first episode, and they were saying the same. It's like, fuck's sake. Jeremy says, Jeremy Duncan, not Jeremy, Jeremy the NES rookie. What is NES? Am I nuts? Am I crazy? Jeremy Duncan, all the way from Texas, USA, says the thing about the Star Beast is that if you read the comic, it's just it just gets more disappointing because the story from the comic is so much better. Yeah, I haven't read it, but I've watched a lot of breakdowns of the meat character from the comics, and it seems interesting. They seem to have taken like, it's very like Marvel formula, where it's like, we'll take tiny nuggets and that'll be fine. like character names and little beats and a line here and there, like "Hail to the me, hail to the Most High." I know that's from the comic, so odd. Adam says, when we get to the 70th anniversary, don't think I'll be watching these again. Definitely will watch Day of the Doctor though. That's such a good point. It's just like kind of boring. It's like it's just like it's not much to like sink your teeth into. It's not much to really think about. They're just kind of there, you know. And I think if Doctor Who hadn't been so damn bland over the last couple of the last couple of years, it just wouldn't have been as bad. But I don't know. Jeremy says, I don't want to be a hater or anything, but if they're going to do a music episode next series, I hope they get something else to write. The Sons of Goblin song was so ungodly cringe, lol. Do you know what's annoying? So, my AirPods aren't here, but I put my AirPods in, and I bought the Goblin song on iTunes or Apple Music because it was for children in need. And it was Christmas time, and I felt like being a bit generous. But because it's not connected to my Spotify, my AirPods will always favor Apple Music over Spotify. Every time if Spotify is like closed off and I hit like on my AirPods to like play something again, it'll always just instantly start playing Apple Music, and it will always play the Goblin song because it's the only song I have on there. See, I am getting a bit sick of that song too, to be honest. Jeremy again says, I hate using that word. What ungodly cringe? Yeah, well, maybe it was a bit ungodly cringe. Can't you see we're having a fun day? Meet my friend, she's Ruby Sunday. Wow, this is brilliant. Daniel says, I saw Russell Howard last night and he made a joke about Jimmy Carr being a pervert. Pervert? I don't know. What? That is what it says. Okay. I saw Russell Howard last night and he made a joke about Jimmy Carr being a pervert. I don't know about it, but it was a funny joke. Right. What's that got to do with Willy fucking Wonka? I'm glad you saw Russell Howard last night. Who, by the way, I got Daniel into Russell Howard, and then he said he didn't like him, and now all these years later he's seen him live. Fucking bullshit, in my opinion. Bro, don't do this to me. Can't you see we're having a fun day? Meet my friend, she's Ruby Sunday. Nice to meet you, good to meet you. Nice to see how diddly did you. It's my birthday, my oh my. I'm 50 miles up in the sky. If I have understood this rope, oh god. I kind of like that scene. I know, I'm nuts, I'm crazy, but I kind of like it. It kind of gets me going a little bit when I see it. I'm like, let's go. Very generic though, isn't it? It's a very Stephen Moffat story, like the baby gets stolen and then they went back and they took another baby and then the doctor goes back to save the baby and it's like, bit too convoluted for my liking. This is Christmas time. Make it easy viewing for me. Grandpa Simpson walking out the door. Hey, musical episodes aren't for everybody, you know. But yeah, I think Shooty had a good like 20 minutes in the giggle, so it didn't really feel like a first episode. It's like we kind of already knew what he was going for, and particularly with the Biogeneration, it didn't even feel that special. I love Shooty though. I'm so excited just to see him. I wish I was more excited for May with the new season. I mean, we've gotten nothing. It's been so dry the last couple of months. Like, we've gotten nothing. Like, literally nothing. There's nothing to talk about with Doctor Who. I'm pulling these topics out of my ass. I don't know if you can tell. Rate the 60th specials. That's original, Connor. And tomorrow's the leap year day. I was gonna do it on that day and be like, oh, what a cool day to do it on. Yeah, I can't do tomorrow. My auntie's flying in from the UK tonight, and I'm filming tomorrow night. So we're doing Eye of the Gorgon, Sarah Jane Adventures. So, all right. Here's the thing. This is what's so boring about Church of Ruby Road is that like there's just not much to talk about really, other than like it's just kind of standard. I like all the adopting stuff. It's sweet. It's a good story. It's unfortunately quite dull and just kind of forgettable. Hate to say it, but it's true. Alright, so 4, at the bottom, Star Beast. 3rd, Church on Ruby Road. I think you all know what my number 1's going to be, but we'll do 2 anyway. I think we all had the same number 1, but number 2 goes to The Giggle, which I think, unlike Church on Ruby Road and unlike the Star Beast, it's just very entertaining. I was super worried about the pacing, hearing that, like, you know, Russell was like, in the first 30 minutes, so much is going to happen. And I was worried from the pacing of the Star Beast. I was super worried about what was going to happen in The Giggle. But I really liked it. And I think the introduction with Stooky Bill. We got Stooky Babbies. We got the Stooky Babbies. Dan says, now pour us 2 pints of Swan. We're here to have some fun. Now pour us 2 pints of Swan. Why not? That'll be me at the pub tonight. Daniel, get your coats. I'm coming to pick you up soon. Gig's just fun. Neil Patrick Harris is just like a delight. I pray he returns. It's kind of bittersweet because we know it's the last we see of DT and Catherine Tate. We think. I doubt it. Otherwise, why did they keep them on at the end of the episode? But just with like Kate and Unit. And my oh my, the most beautiful scene ever with Neil Patrick Harris's toy maker dancing to the Spice Girls. Probably one of my favorite scenes in Doctor Who of all time. The Blinks, my boy, kind of pointless, but he's coming back next season. The storyline's fairly simple with the Giggle in everyone's head. We don't see really any of the outbreak of everyone thinking they're right. We get to see a terrible shot of a guy in a plane going, "Daddy's coming home!" It's just so cringe, and I hate that. But the set piece they did with they filmed in Bristol for like a couple of days, and that set piece is awesome. Just the location filming, it's like woof, like that. It's great, but it doesn't hang around long enough. And unfortunately, with Bernie Cribben's passing, like it's a bit go with the doctor. What's that from? Sontaran Stratagem. It's just interesting, that's all. But it just super fast paced, actually really enjoyable. I think it gets a little bit slower in the second act, but it kind of needs it. But I still think it goes a little bit slow. There's maybe like 5 minutes I think they could maybe have gotten rid of. But like just the companion scenes with Amy and Clara and Bill and the Flux. Russell loves the Flux. If anything, you can't stop fucking talking about it. Which is fine, I guess. But he can't stop talking about it. I'm liking it, you know. Like The Giggle was like a super fun episode just to throw it. It's a really good episode to watch when you're like really drunk. Like you come back from the pub and you've had a few jogs, you know. It's like chuck on The Giggle. It's a really good time. I actually really do enjoy it. It's just like all this bi-regeneration stuff. I'm yet to see how it goes, and it's hard to judge it. But if I'm talking about it now, it's really good. I'm gonna read some comments. Jeremy says, Steven set such a high bar when it comes to first stories for the new Doctor's 11th Hour. 11th Hour will always be the best first Doctor story. Don't sue me, even though I haven't seen all of them. From the classic era, that is. Jeremy says, I'm warning you now, if this is a trick, I will kill you. Best line of the episode. I know people love that line. I don't mind it. I don't love it. My mom was like, ha ha, when she saw it. I was like, okay. The line works, I suppose. Adam says, that scene when the puppet companions was great. Love it when they dive into the past and consequences. Totally. That was brilliant. And I just love how Neil Patrick Harris didn't know anything that he was talking about, but used it to his advantage in his performance. Just perfect. Just perfect. Jeremy Duncan says, The Giggle was a wild episode. It's a roller coaster of set pieces with an emotional commentary on the tragic mindset the show has had since 2005. It's a turning point. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Another point to make is like I think Russell's kind of trying to say something with like everyone thinks their opinion's right. Probably referring to YouTubers like me discussing Doctor Who and thinking that they could do it better. So I guess it's kind of meta in that sense. They got Santa Claus in a wheelchair as a stand-in. Dude had a massive beard and long hair. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Poor Bernard, man. I heard they had some good plans for The Giggle. It sucks. Now he's just off in the behind the scenes shooting moles. How dare he? Oz Chris, The Giggle's a lot of fun. Neil Patrick Harris as the toymaker is great, but when you get to the bi-generation, yeah, I think we're all a bit shaky on that. Robert's in the chat. Hello, Connor. Hi, Robert. I saw you in the other live stream before it all went to shit. So good to see you, my dude. We're having a beer, we're chilling, we're talking about Doctor Who. I'm having a baller up here. 3 Wednesdays in a row. You can't stop the 50% grind. Speaking of the 50% grind, there ain't none because no one gives a shit about Doctor Who at the moment. It's just so hard. It's like the viewership's just plummeted. It's just no one gives a shit about Doctor Who anymore. And I'm stuck here being like, hey, it's my job to talk about Doctor Who. What am I supposed to talk about? God help me. Good to see you as well, my friend. Thank you, Robert. And Robert says, what's Doctor Who? Well, I think a lot of people are thinking that at the moment, Robert. I'm not too sure myself. What is Doctor Who these days? Who knows? Jeremy says, the one plot hole with that... Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. I was doing so good. I hate when I misread your chats, folks. Let me reread it. Jeremy, the one plot hole with... Okay, this was actually... I think this was Jeremy's mistake with grammar, but that's fine. I'm terrible with grammar. The one plot hole with that is that everyone thinks they're right, but when Kay gets affected, she doesn't think she's right. She just turns into a conspiracy theorist, a little inconsistent. Yeah, and then my girl Trinity Wells is like, I am anti-Z-Dex. It's like, we get it, Russell. Yes, Alex Jones exists. Anti-vaxxers exist. We tune into Doctor Who and media to escape the wasteland outside. I don't want to see it. It's like, oh, I hate Marvel now. And it's like, you know when they brought back J. Jonah Jameson? And they made him an Alex Jones, like, parody. We get it. We get it, okay? Remember when Alex Jones said they turned him the frog's gay? Yeah, I do. I don't want to be reminded about that shit when I'm watching Doctor Who. Robert says, I think it will all kickstart again closer to May. Yeah, but... I don't want to sound like a desperate YouTuber here, but it's just hard to talk about stuff at the moment when it comes to Doctor Who. And it's like, the classic reviews, they're really fun, but it's like, I don't know how many people want to watch them, and we're doing the Sarah Jane reviews, and I think even less people want to watch them. Which sucks, because Series 1 of Sarah Jane is so good. Sarah Jane as a show is so good, but still. Dan says, how many more What Type of Future David cameos do you predict? I don't know. Who's to say he won't make a quick appearance at the end of Series 1? Like, the thing I keep going back to is like, why keep him around? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't, and I can't understand it. Jeremy says, sorry about the grammar, trying to type things out, and it's 11 p.m. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be mean. I appreciate you staying up for these streams, man. It really means a lot to me. And I hope me doing them on Wednesdays is like a good thing, because you guys know when I'm going to be doing them. Once the trailers will start and any sort of news online and Doctor Who magazine. Yeah, there's a new Doctor Who magazine coming out soon. Hope there's a little bit of info in there. But that'll do for the giggle. So we got, at the bottom, Star Beast. Third, Church and Ruby Road. Second, the giggle. Number 1 is Wild Blue Yonder. Possibly one of the greatest episodes we've gotten in since what? Heaven Sent? Maybe World Enough in Time. Dr. Falls, I'd argue. But definitely probably since Heaven Sent. Just a classic episode. Slow burned. Just relies on the actors' performances. Great setting, eerie, creepy, fantastic dialogue. By far, Russell's best script out of all 4 of the episodes. Just really chilling and great. I watched it live. We'll never forget watching it live with Dan, who's in the chat, and us expecting to see, well, not Dan actually, me expecting to see Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi. And you know the episode's good when you're not disappointed. I mean, I am disappointed, but I wasn't really that disappointed in the moment, because I'm like, I think we've just watched one of the best episodes of Doctor Who ever. Despite a little bit of like ropey CGI, and maybe, again, 5 minutes being chopped, it's a little bit slow in some areas, maybe 5, 7, 10, I don't know. It's funny, because like, I remember when they released like what Wild Blue Yonder's like 60 minutes, I feel like maybe if it was like 55, I don't know. I always was like, I know I want them to be longer, and then I watch them more, I'm like, ugh, Please be a little bit shorter. It helps with pacing. War of the Sontarans, says Jeremy. What, the episode review that came out this week? Yeah, me and Aiden didn't fight on it. That's a good sign. Didn't have an argument that got cut out of the episode. Yeah, Wild Beyond it's just a fucking classic. It's brilliant. I love it. It's so up my street. And I saw a YouTuber or a YouTuber, or maybe just like a Twitter Doctor Who YouTuber, who said they ran into Russell and said there's a similar episode of Wild Beyonder coming out in season 1. So that'll be good. Dan says, do any of the recent David episodes crack your top 10 or top 5 or top 10 day episodes? That's a good question. Probably. I could definitely see Wild Beyonder being up there. Probably top 5 maybe. I mean, definitely Wars of Mars #1. But I'd have to think about that. Jeremy says, oh no, I meant the best episode since War of the Sontarans and Jodie's era. War of the Sontarans. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Sontaran Experiment. We did it the other day. Sorry. I completely agree with your rank of the episodes. Well, thank you, Mr. Scarlo. That's why I'm here. I'm going to split, guys. Sorry it's a bit shorter this week, but my family are coming home, and it's going to go crazy, and they pick Dan up, and we're going to the pub. So I'll be here next week, and I love you. I always think about you. I miss you. This is getting a bit weird. And I want to hug you all right now, and I will. Why not? Come on, let's hug. God bless. God bless, says the atheist in the room. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. It means everything to me. You guys are the best. Papa bless, says Jeremy. Papa bless. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Thank you again. Sorry about all the fucking delay with the stream and stuff, and it all sort of went crazy. Bobby, take care, mate. Says Robert. Thank you too, mate. See you, Chris. I'll see you on the live stream tomorrow, Chrissy. I'll tune in. What a comfy hug, says Robert. I agree. It was very comfy. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. See you later, guys. Kaka. Bye.